If I could tell you something today that might save your life or the lives of the ones that you love, would you listen? Most of us already know that cigarette smoking is not good for our health, but today I hope to open your eyes a bit to how it affects the smoker, the effects of secondhand smoke, and whether or not electronic cigarettes are a good alternative. First, let's start with the smoker. Smoking can be traced back to the root problem for nearly every disease process that humans can potentially face. The body system that we most likely think of is the respiratory system. Keira James of the website healthguideinfo.com gives us a quick anatomy lesson to help us understand how smoking harms the respiratory system. Tiny mucus-coated hairs called cilia line the airway to trap and filter harmful toxins and particles before they enter the lungs. However, hydrogen cyanide and other toxins in the cigarette slow, paralyze, and eventually cause the cilia to disappear. The toxic chemicals in the mucus begin to, in the lungs, build up, and now they must be coughed out to be eliminated, hence the smoker's cough. The smoker's cough irritates the bronchi, leading to chronic bronchitis. Continuous exposure to the toxins found in cigarettes by the already weakened respiratory system leads to many different illnesses and diseases, some of which can be fatal. A few that you might be familiar with are chronic bronchitis, emphysema, COPD, and lung cancer. Heart disease is the #1 killer in America. Many assume that this is due to the obesity problem in our country. However, smoking is actually the cause of this as well. Our circulatory system is like a freeway pumping oxygenated blood to our heart. Our vessels are coated with a thin Teflon-like layer to ensure smooth blood flow. However, carbon monoxide from smoke deteriorates this layer, allowing fats and plaque to stick to the vessel walls. Nicotine is a foreign substance, and each time it's introduced into our body, it signals the brain to activate the stress defense mechanism and release fats into the blood. These fats stick to and build up in the deteriorating vessel walls. It slows circulation, causing the heart to have to work harder. The narrowed vessels, combined with the fat plaque buildup, being pushed through the vessels with a greater force, sets the stage perfectly for the blood clot or ruptured vessel, causing a heart attack or a stroke. Prior to a heart attack or a stroke, smoking can lead to the onset of dementia, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, or peripheral arterial disease, which all of these weaken the heart tissue, turning you into a ticking time bomb. Smoking can harm every organ in your body. Besides the two main systems that we've touched on, there are several others that people often rarely consider. According to an article posted on WebMD in May of 2014, it can completely change your appearance because it deprives your skin, hair, and nails of oxygen and nutrients. Smokers have more wrinkles, puffy bags under their eyes, blotchy, uneven skin tone, discolored fingers, nails, and teeth, thinning hair, are more likely to develop cataracts, and males may suffer from erectile dysfunction. Patricia Culpepper of Livestrong.com posted in an article that it weakens the immune system, causes osteoporosis, increases the risk for diabetes and rheumatoid arthritis. It has also been linked to a host of cancers, including acute myeloid leukemia, cancer of the tongue, throat, vocal cords, esophagus, lungs, breast, stomach, liver, pancreas, kidneys, cervix, bladder, colon, and rectum. Next, we'll look at the dangers of secondhand smoke. An article posted on hopkinsmedicalcenter.org states that secondhand smoke is smoke that is exhaled by smokers or emitted by the burning end of a cigarette, cigar, or pipe. It causes more than 7,000 lung cancer deaths each year in people who do not smoke. It can also lead to the same lung conditions and heart disease that the smoker is at risk for. Children who are exposed to secondhand smoke are more susceptible to ear infections and asthma. Infants exposed are at a greater risk for SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. Sarah Napton wrote an article in EssentialBaby.com discussing the research of Dr. Nasha Riesland from Durham University, who has studied the movements of fetuses on 4D ultrasounds and found that the fetuses of women who smoke during pregnancy show significantly higher rates of mouth movement and self-touching than those carried by non-smokers, indicating that those babies have a delayed development in the central nervous system. Now, I'll tell you what I found on e-cigarettes, or electronic cigarettes. E-cigs and vaping have become wildly popular lately, but is it really a safe alternative to smoking? WebMD.com posted an article by R. Morgan Griffin exploring the pros and cons of this hot new trend. In the article, Dr. Brad Drummond of Johns Hopkins University said that e-cigs may be less harmful than cigarettes, but we still don't know enough about their long-term risk or the effects of their secondhand exposure. Those who support e-cigs rely on the testing that has shown that levels of dangerous chemicals given off are a fraction of those compared to given off by cigarettes. This is because the biggest threat from tobacco is the smoke, and e-cigarettes do not burn. Opponents of the e-cigs point out that regardless of the fact that there is no smoke, nicotine inside the cartridge is still addictive. Withdrawal symptoms including irritability, depression, restlessness, and anxiousness can be experienced when one tries to stop the e-cig. The nicotine can still damage your arteries, leading to heart disease over time. It's also seen as a gateway to smoking since teens and tweens are already using the e-cigs at such a young age, where nicotine addiction may have been delayed or even avoided if not for the availability and acceptance of e-cigs. So in conclusion, no matter how you look at it, smoking is not a good choice for anyone. Many health problems, illnesses, diseases, or even sudden deaths have been linked to smoking as well as secondhand smoke. Though electronic cigarettes seem to lessen the immediate health risk, there's still some debate on the long-term effects that they may find once they have sufficient research. To smoke or not to smoke? That may be the question, but let me leave you with a few facts from the CDC website to ponder while making your decision. A single cigarette contains over 4,800 chemicals. 69 of those are known to cause cancer. Every year in America, approximately 46,000 people die from diseases caused by secondhand smoke. You can subtract 5 minutes of your life for each cigarette that you smoke, or simply deduct an average of 13 to 15 years from your lifespan. Every day, 1,300 people in the United States alone die from cigarette smoke. And if we continue at this path, 5.6 million of our children will die before the age of 18. So light up if you must, but now that you know the expense, is it really worth it? If you're ready to quit, please seek help from your doctor.